Hello guys, this is Breno and welcome to my channel. Guys, if you're new here, this channel is about English. So here I teach you English in a very simple way, or at least I try to do that, okay? So guys, if you watch this video, see if you like it, and if you identify with this video, please click subscribe, okay? So let's get started. Today's topic is about modal verbs. We're gonna focus on the modal verbs can and may, okay? But first I have a question. Do you know what a modal verb is? Well, basically a modal verb is a grammar structure that works like an auxiliary verb. So they help us somehow. Okay, and they're not used alone. We often use them with other verbs, other verbs that we put after them. Okay, so I said that we would focus on can and may. Okay, so and we're gonna go over several uses of may and can. Okay, but first I'd like to make sure that you know how you're supposed to form sentences with may and can. Okay? Oh, there are some birds chirping near here. Sorry for that. So guys, let's talk about how we form sentences with can and may. In English, guys, as you know, we often divide our sentences into three different categories. The affirmative, the negative, and the interrogative. Okay, and that applies to modal verbs as well. So first, we're going to talk about the affirmative form. Okay, so the affirmative form is done by putting first our subject, and then the auxiliary verb, and then the main verb. So let me give you an example. I can read books. So if you pay attention to this sentence, I started with the subject I, and then I put the auxiliary verb can, and to conclude I put the main verb, which is read in this case. Okay. Other examples can be I can ride a bike. You can write beautiful texts. Okay, and the same works for may. You can say, for example, you may come in. You may drink a cup of coffee. You may go to the party. So notice that if we take a look at this last sentence that I've said, you may go to the party. So first we have our subject, you, the auxiliary verb may, and to conclude our sentence we put the main verb, which is go. Okay guys, so that's how we form the affirmative. But what about the negative? Well, the negative is quite simple. The only thing that changes is that you need to put the word not after the auxiliary verb. So the structure is subject, auxiliary verb, not, plus the main verb. Some examples can be I cannot ride a bike. You cannot read books in English. One thing that I need to tell you is that we can often shorten can not. We can often short the word cannot. We can say, for example, can't. So I can't ride a bike. You can't read books in English. Okay? And may. Let me give you some examples with may. You may not come in. She may not drink a cup of coffee. Okay? And she may not go to the party. Okay? And we never shorten the word may. We can't contracted with not. Okay, we always have to say may not. And what about the interrogative? Well, the interrogative can be done by putting the auxiliary verb at the beginning of the sentence. So the pattern is auxiliary verb, can or may, subject, and main verb. So some examples can be, can you read books in English? So notice that first I have the auxiliary verb can, then I have the subject you, and then I have the main verb, which is read. Let me give you more examples. Can't you ride a bike? Can't you write books? Can't she go to the party? May I come in? May she help us? May she sleep here? Okay, so that's how we form sentences with may and come. Okay, guys, now that you know how to structure your sentences, I'm gonna go over some of the main uses of may and can. Those uses are extremely important and you must know them. Okay? Guys, the first use is to make requests. Okay, so when you want to make requests in English, we can use the word can or may. But what's the difference between may and can in this case? Well, can is more informal and may is more formal. That's the only difference. So if you are among friends, you can use can. But if you are in a more formal setting, like in an office or at school, you better use may. Okay, let me give you some examples. Can I have some coffee? Can I have a bottle of water? Can you help her with her homework? Can you lend me your book? Can I borrow your bike? Okay. Now, I'll give you some examples with may. May I come in? Okay, so let's say that you work in an office and there's a meeting going on there and you arrive late. So you'll have to show that you are polite. So you have to use may. So you can say, for example, may I come in? Or if you are in a meeting and you want to say something, you can say, for example, may I add something here? May I bring up some interesting topics here? Okay. Or if you are in a classroom during a class and you wanna go to the bathroom, you can ask your teacher by using may. So you can say, hey teacher, may I go to the bathroom, or may I go to the restroom? Okay guys, this use is extremely important. Keep it in mind. Let's move on. The second use is talking about abilities and skills. So if you want to talk about an ability that you have, you can use can. Okay, in this use you can only use can. You cannot use may. So you can say, for example, I can ride a bike. So I have the ability to ride a bike. She can speak 3 languages. She has the ability to speak 3 languages. He can drive a car, so he has the ability to drive a car. When we use can to talk about abilities, we can often replace it with to know how to. Okay, so instead of saying I can ride a bike, you can say I know how to ride a bike. Or instead of saying I can't write text in English, you can say I know how to write texts in English. Okay? So that's an ability that you have. But you can also ask questions, you know, so you can, if you want to know if your friend has a particular ability, you can use the word can. Let me give you an example. Can you swim? Okay, so let's say that you are among friends and you want to know that and you want to know if your friend has this ability, you can ask him if he can swim. Can you swim? You can say, can you swim? Okay? Or can you read books in English? You know? And he can answer you, yes, I can. Or no, I can't. Okay? So guys, this structure that I have just used it here is called short answers. Okay guys, so in English, we often use short answers. So when we don't want to give the whole answer, we can use just the subject and the auxiliary verb. If your answer is positive, you can use the word yes, the subject, and then the auxiliary verb. In this case, the auxiliary verb is can. So if my answer is positive, I say, yes, I can. But what if the answer is negative? If the answer is negative, you just use no, and then you use the subject and the auxiliary verb in a negative. So you can say, no, I can't. Okay? Okay guys, let's go to the next use. The next use is very common as well. You know, when you want to talk about possibilities, weak possibilities, things that you're not sure about, well, if you want to express these kinds of things in English, you may find a good idea to use may. So we can say, for example, you may have difficulties studying English. So this sentence basically means you can possibly have difficulties studying English. So it's a possibility. You're not sure about it. It may happen, but it may not happen as well. Okay? Other sentence can be, it may rain. Okay? So there are many clouds in the sky and no sun. So there is a possibility it may rain, but you're not sure about it. Okay? If you have a friend who is very boring, you can tell other friends that something like this. Hey, he's so mean. He may insult you. So he's so mean. He can possibly insult you. So again, it's a possibility. You're not sure about it. It may happen, but it may not. Okay? Okay guys, now we're gonna move on to the last use that we're gonna discuss today. The last use is wishes and desires. Okay, so if you want to express a wish or a desire in English, you can use the word may. You cannot use can, but you can use may. So you can say, for example, you must know this phrase. May God bless you. Okay. So this is a wish that you have. It basically means I hope God blesses you. Okay. Other examples can be, may you do well in the past. May you get good grades. May you reach your goals. Okay? And one thing, and this sentences basically means, I hope you reach your goals. Okay? And when you use may in this kind of structure, you always put it at the beginning of the sentence. Okay? So if we take a look at the first sentence, may God bless you. So notice that may comes at the beginning of the sentence. And we do not use a question mark, okay? We do not use a question mark. A question mark is this sign that I'm putting on the screen, okay? You don't use it. You have to use a period, okay? This sign that I'll put now on the screen, okay? So that's something that you have to keep in mind, because you're not, because it's not a question, it's a wish or desire. Okay guys, that's all for today. I hope you have learned many things from this video, okay? If you have any questions, if you have any questions, please put them down below in the comments, and I'll be happy answering them, okay? Bye bye, take care.